Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I really do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, also leave a comment down below. It really does help out the channel, and I love getting to interact with everybody out there and get to know you guys. So if you could, make sure you guys actually tell everybody you know, or all your knife friends or whatever, that we are going to be doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway. Definitely stoked on it. We are just about at or over 1,900 subscribers at the recording of this video right here. So really excited. We have two really awesome knives to give away. One's kind of a package deal, but the second one is a Jimmy Crow custom that he hooked up for us. So he did his own little acid wash on the blade, dyed the scales. Really excited for it. Looks great. And the other one is a TRM kind of gift package, I guess you could say. We do have a TRM Holy Nerd to give away, plus some other TRM goodies. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that one. Hopefully it's going to be happening very soon, and I'm really excited for it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into this thing. This is a knife that was sent to us by our good buddy Nick. So this next couple videos that you're going to be seeing was actually coming from him. This is, so Nick, really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get right into this one. This is the Kabar bk40. So the way he explained it, this is, his dedicated workhorse of a knife. He only really, I guess he carries a lot of his knives, of course, but this is the main one that he uses for, heavy duty tasks at work and stuff like that. So this is the cardboard destroyer in his terms. He really does abuse this thing, and just feeling this knife in hand, I could see why, you would get that vibe from this thing. And it seems like a heavy duty kind of bruiser of a knife. I'm not sure exactly what blade steel is on this thing. It's you know, not marked, at least anywhere that I could see. Didn't do too much research on this thing, but it is made in China, of course. bk40 K-bar. This is, I imagine, a very affordable knife. If I could, I don't have a Rat One, but I feel like this would be a very good kind of you know, comparison to what a Rat Model 1 would be. So the Rat Model 1, everybody knows them. I do have a Rat 2, but the Rat 1 is an overbuilt kind of tank of a knife, I guess you could say, for a relatively affordable price. And I'm sure this thing is going to be right on in that, under that probably $60 price range if I had to guess. So really cool. We do have kind of like a FRN kind of injection molded plastic handles on this thing that is contoured, so it's really ergonomic, great feeling in the hands. I feel like you could just push and push and push with this thing all day, and you're not going to have any sort of hot spots whatsoever. I do like the deep carry folded over clip right there, wire pocket clip. I feel like that's actually a really good pocket clip. It's pretty underrated, and not a lot of people do like them, but I think it's pretty cool. So I do have of course I have a Spyderco lightweight pair of 3, and it came with that one, but I did switch it out. But it's still really great clip. So you have tip up, left or right hand carry, or tip down, tip up, tip down, left or right hand carry. Yeah, super ergonomic, hand filling grip. Really do like the blade shape. It's kind of a, you know, drop point modified kind of deal. Has a giant amount of belly on this thing though, so this is going to be really great. I could even see this thing kind of going out in the woods, doing some skinning with it. Some light kind of work like that. But overall, really great shape. I do like the oversized thumb studs that it gives you, and you do have some super aggressive jimping on the actual you know, butt of the knife here, if that's what you want to call it, towards the tang of the blade over here at the end where your thumb's actually going to be resting. So really cool to see that. I feel like it's almost, kind of reminds me of the Spyderco Shaman jimping. So if you guys know how aggressive that jimping is on the Spyderco Shaman, it's pretty close to that. It's not as deep maybe, but it still locks you in very good. Really do like the oversized thumb studs on it. If you had gloves on, you would, never miss a beat with this thing. That is for sure. So why don't we go ahead and do some overall size, sizing on this thing, I guess you could say, measurements. And we have specs. That's the word I'm looking for. Overall specs of this knife here. So blade length, we're going to be right at 3.5 inches. Kind of depends on where you're measuring at, but I feel like right there in the scale, at the tip of the scale, you're going to be right at 3.5 inches. Overall length of this knife is coming in at 8.5 inches. That means we are going to be having a 5 inch, yeah, 5 inch handle, just about, maybe a fuzz under 5 inches. So we're really close to the 8.5 inch length overall. So if you have, even if you had like 2XL hands, glove size, I guess you could say, it's going to work out very well for you. Of course, full finger grip, 4 finger grip for me, full hand, and you still have, a good bit sticking out right there. So a lot of real estate on this thing for you to purchase on. And we even do have somewhat of a sharpening choil right there. I'm not going to say it's a finger choil, but you can, choke up on there depending on what kind of cutting you're going to be doing. But I think this thing is definitely going to shine on the push task. You can even do some kind of like utility cutting like that if you're going to be getting the tip down. It does have a whole entire amount of belly on there, so really do like that. I'm kind of a big drop point fan. Most of the knives that I have in my collection are going to be a drop point, so I kind of have a soft spot for them. But overall, this thing is a tank of a knife, that is for sure. Let's go ahead and get some sizes here. So this, like I said, this is going to be contoured. So at the thickest part of the handle, we are going to be, man, yeah, 675. So we are definitely up there, way over half of an inch. And like I said, let's look at this Benchmade Presidio here. This is kind of the knife that I have for my hard use work, I guess you could say. And right there, we are at 62. So definitely bigger on this one. So why don't we just go ahead and get, well, let's do the blade stock thickness here while we're at it. Then we'll do some behind the edge. So 138 thousandths, almost 139 thousandths blade stock. So super, not super thick, but definitely thick enough. Let's see if I can get really far down there. 27, 26,000. So it's still not going to be the sliciest thing in the world, but it's still, very good. Of course, you're not going to be like your pair 3 territory. Let's see what we got going on here. This is the 15V. 25, 24,000. So actually really not much off of that, which is pretty impressive. How about the Atom? Let's do a little comparison with that one and see what we're rocking on the TRM Atom. 180,000. So yeah, we are definitely still fairly thin for what this thing is, and I think it's going to be a really great everyday user. I'm a big fan of that handle though. Can't get over how comfortable that thing is in the hand. I mean, way more comfortable than this Benchmade Presidio, and I'm imagining it's going to be way less on the actual, easier on the wallet. That is for sure. Just holding them each one in hand, I really do like the smooth nature of it. I know, some people might be kind of afraid of the smooth-sided handles, but at the same time, it really does give you a good amount of grip, and it's kind of slippery. Of course, it's not going to be like this one is, but still, really great traction. It kind of locks you in the way the actual handle is shaped. It's kind of got dedicated areas where your fingers are going to be, and this nice swells that we have in the actual handle. That is a really good thing about FRN or injection molded plastic handles. They can kind of do whatever they want to do while keeping the weight, well, of course, the weight down, but also the cost down. So really good in that regard. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons here. So like I said, up against the Benchmade Presidio 2, which is actually smaller than the Benchmade Presidio 2. So kind of, I thought that this one would be a little bit bigger. So we do have a little more blade length on the Presidio 2, but overall, the dimensions are going to be pretty similar there. How about up against the Spyderco Shaman? This is another, kind of a hard use-esque knife, I guess you could say. Pretty overall, same size. We're going to be a little bit bigger on the bk40. How about up against a Spyderco PM2? Why don't we do the pair 3 while we're at it right there? So there you go. How about the MSI? So we're definitely going to be smarter than the MSI. I can't believe that the MSI is actually that big. It is a honker of a knife, that is for sure. And then how about the new, finally got one of the, I've actually never made a video on this one yet, but I have done a couple shorts. I finally got one of the Grail knives I've been looking for a long time. Super excited about it. How about up against the Hinder Eclipse? This is in the hollow ground slicer blade shape. This is, of course, the 3.5, 3.5 Eclipse right there. So pretty similar overall size right there. I feel like, this would be, of course, something a really hard to use knife that you could have. But love that thing. But anyway, I'm getting kind of in the weeds there. Really cool though. I'm glad Nick sent this into me. This kind of the budget category is something I'm not seeing a whole lot of nowadays. I feel like my collection is kind of going towards the USA kind of stuff. And I'm not saying the $1,000 pocket knives and stuff like that, but it's kind of nice to step back, down from that kind of angle and see what else is out there. And of course, I don't want to beat up on all my knives all the time anyway. And I'm not really it kind of depends on what you're going to be calling hard use. I feel like some people out there, are chopping nails with their knives, whatever, prying up different things, whether you be staples and stuff like that, or just some, cutting wires and stuff like that. But that's something that I really don't do. Cardboard cutting is probably going to be the most aggressive thing that I do with my pocket knives. I'm really not even doing too much of that nowadays either. So I just like to carry them, of course, and whatever else. But of course, other people have more demanding stuff, and they don't want to put a $300 Spyderco Shaman or whatever, $200 Benchmade, through that kind of stuff. So something in this price range is a lot more attainable to people. I don't want to call it a throwaway knife or something like that, but it's something that you can take care of for a long time. Of course, we do have a really nice sharpening tool and plunge grind on there. You're going to be able to get a lot of sharpenings on this thing before you see any sort of deterioration or smiles. A lot of people like to say on there. So really good. I'm really impressed with this thing, and I really do want to say a big shout out to Nick for sending this over to us to take a look at. Really do appreciate it. In the next video, we're going to be doing disassembly maintenance on this thing, see what makes this thing tick on the inside. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that one. I will say this is not a fidget monster whatsoever. I think it kind of has a weaker detent. Kind of hard to get it. You really got to flip your thumb out there, but it might just be I'm not used to that thumb stud. This would be definitely a reverse flick for me, or you could kind of slow roll it with your thumb. Maybe that's kind of what they were going for, but I don't see this being like a fidget monster. But that's not taking anything away from the knife. This is still going to be a very capable tool to, get your job done, what you're looking for. So I really do appreciate it, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe for that 2K giveaway, and we will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.